Hello and welcome to the Network Plumbing Working Group call from February 25th, 2021. This is Doug standing in for Dan, who's got a conflict today. And why don't I kick it off with some regular business here. First up, is there anyone, and for anyone new, we do have a lot of familiar faces. We usually kick the meeting off with having anyone join as a member. Remember to add your name to the attendees list, which we use as a criteria for becoming a member or maintainer. Is there anyone who would like to propose candidacy for member, maintainer, or any new projects? All right, in that case, that's great. Let's move it right on. Adrian, you've got the first one about Multis move to Network Plumbing Working Group.
Yeah, so it's just a checkup to see on the state of things. Like a while back when we started moving all of the project, like Multus was also a candidate to move to the Network Plumbing Working Group. And I know that there was an update from Intel that it was approved to be moved to a public like a community governance. So my question is, I mean, is there any like update on that? I remember there was like there was thoughts about maybe proposing it for CNCF or Network Plumbing Working Group. So if an update on it would be great.
Hey, this is Dave. I work on the orchestration team at Intel. So yes, the last update I gave, I think I had mentioned that we were priming Multis to move, and in terms of the boilerplate stuff that we had to get through in terms of our own internal process, so that has been complete. There is one outstanding issue internally that we have to resolve first before we actually move it, but it won't be too long. It's more of a case of organizationally speaking, the group we're in is part of a bigger group, and there's discussions going on there at the moment, just in terms of the dependencies, in terms of where Multis is, even with the redirects or the auto redirects from GitHub and stuff like that, they should cover everything. But there's still some testing in a different org at the moment, and we're waiting for feedback on that before I can actually move it over. And this wasn't, I suppose, part of the solution to move it initially when I provided the update. So this only came in recently enough. When I say recent, as in start of the month, end of January type of thing. So yeah, it's still in our, we still plan to move this over.
I see, great. Thanks for updating. And do you know what will be the new home for Multus? Is it like the Plumbing Working Group, or?
Yes, I think I believe it'll be the Network Plumbing Working Group. Yeah, I think there as a stopgap anyway. It would be great if we got it in under CNCF. I think it's a much easier ask on this group here to take it into the Network Plumbing Working Group and then take it from there to CNCF if possible.
I see. Great. All right. Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Dave. And I definitely agree on that process. You know, at least from my standpoint, and I certainly would love any help on this one. But I think the steps, the way I see it, would be Multis comes to Network Plumbing Working Group. I think that we should go through the steps for a Network Plumbing Working Group to have some official capacity within the CNCF. I had gotten some initial information on that from some people internally at Red Hat that are involved with are open source and standards type of operations, and it doesn't seem difficult, but I need to follow up on that. And then after that, then we can look into having it moved into the CNCF under an official capacity of having it there, which to me would be the ultimate goal, and I think would be very nice. So Dave, thanks a bunch for continuing on. I definitely understand that internal processes take time. As far as I'm aware, there haven't been any problems with the community contributing code to Multis. And of course, while I look forward to having Multis officially under this open governance, I would definitely be interested with working with anyone who's interested in contributing, maintaining. We can definitely use a helpful hand. We're definitely open to getting more in there. And from my own perspective, you know, Intel has very much been in alignment there. So definitely feel free to bring up any issues here in the meanwhile. And of course, at the Multis maintainer meetings, which happen every other week in the same time slot. That's a different Zoom call, but feel free to join. Adrian, the next one is whereabouts. Basically, same kind of question regarding whereabouts.
Yeah, and same kind of question. And of course, I want just to like give some you know some kind words on whereabouts, because like we found it extremely useful for our like both internally, and we're actually basing some of our reference implementation for secondary networks with whereabouts IPAM to enable like RDMA networks. So I mean, big up for for this project. We found it like extremely useful. We actually also developed like a network operator, which like sort of enables like RDMA and other stuff in Kubernetes. So we are using whereabouts as IPAM for secondary networks. So first of all, you know, great project. So that's the first
Adrian,
thing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot, and yeah, that's awesome. That really makes me happy to hear. Yes, definitely still planning to move it to Network Plumbing Working Group, and we have already voted to accept it. And the main thing that I need to do is one of my co-maintainers, I need to get him to go through the process to join the work. I really rely on his help, and anyways, I don't want to cut him off or shortcut the official processes here. So I just need to get my act together. I mean, I know it's not a heavy lift to join and become a maintainer, and I know everyone will appreciate his contributions as well. So yes, absolutely, that is the plan, and it'll be nice to have that discussion here. I also am planning probably to have regular updates for whereabouts during the multi-CNI maintainers meeting. It doesn't have quite as many issues or pull requests to have to review as Multis does. So hopefully it gets covered fairly quickly in there, but yeah, also super happy to have any contributions in that realm as well. And yeah, I really want to help prolong the lifespan and life cycle of whereabouts, and I think having it in the group is gonna definitely help out there. So thank you for the reminder as well, because it'll be nice to have that officially under the rooftop.
Okay, thanks for updating.
Excellent. Hasn't clicked too hard. All right. Any other comments there? Or the next one is for a Tomo update on kubectl podnet.
Yep. So I put the kubectl podnet in the network prompting repository. So the it's just the kubectl plugin, which showing the network attachment definitions, IP address, like the kubectl pod output. So maybe if you go to the repository, you can see the sample output there. So the this is pretty immature stuff. Just added the stuff. So please use that, and then the feedback is pretty welcome. That's it.
Cool. Thanks, Tomo. One idea I possibly have, and I don't think this would be urgent, but the idea of having in our reference deployments something that's like a all the bells and whistles kind of deployment where we have just like a suite of our tools installed, like for example, Multis CNI, maybe whereabouts, kubectl podnet, net attached F admission controller, something like that. And one place that I see that it could be handy is, I know, Tomo, you've talked about kind of improving our public materials that we have, you know, in terms of a website, in terms of having some kind of videos available for an introductory material, but something that could kind of show people all the tools at once. I do realize that maintaining something like that isn't always straightforward, right? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe maybe kinds of the not maybe it may not the reference the deployment style. I mean that the YAML file, because the some of them the CNI route override or the some kubectl podnet, of course, is just the put in the binary stuff. But also, yeah, maybe we could thinking about that. So let's continue to the discussion about that.
Yeah, agree. I totally see what you mean. It's not necessarily all stuff that runs in cluster, for sure. So yeah, good consideration.
Yeah,
so,
but of course the maybe that this should be with like the same timing at the YouTube, the video training or some stuff, I think.
Yeah, and you know what it makes me realize is, you know, it'd be really nice to have some like newbie materials for something like Multis that, you know, is just that, but it might also be nice to have something that's like shows kind of the constellation of the projects that we have, because we do have a, you know, while a related set of projects, but a pretty diverse set of projects in their own right. All right, cool. Thank you, Tomo. I've got the next one, and I just wanted to note that on the Tuesday call, so if you're not familiar, Tuesdays opposite the weeks that we have this meeting, we have a additional discussion, which is currently focused on the network policy implementation. And we've been having a great discussion there. However, I brought up dynamic attachments this last Tuesday, and had a really nice conversation with Per and Abdullah about that. And Abdullah mentioned that he would potentially give another demonstration of Cactus, which is the Kalum fork of Multis that performs dynamic attachments, so that maybe some of his experience that he's gained with this type of architecture, we could feed back in to Multis itself and potentially to the spec. We did leave a lot open related to allowing for this kind of thick plug-in type design and to allow dynamic attachments, but maybe with some more feedback here, we might see that there actually could be extensions to the spec itself. So I just wanted to mention that, bring up that additional discussion. One thing that I'm happy to say is in this additional discussion, we've really been keeping to a lot of the technical nuts and bolts. And I realize that there's some amount of overhead in this meeting that is bureaucratic. And I'd at least like to voice that any technical topics are still absolutely allowed and encouraged in this call. I don't want it to be purely bureaucratic. So if you've got something on your mind, project specific, architecture specific, future looking, name it, feel free to bring them up in this call. But also be aware of that call, some good discussion going on. All right, I'll send it over to you, Gary. You've got some updates on the container registry.
Sure. Hey, Doug. So this is not something I personally have a whole lot of visibility or context on. So this came from Martin Kennelly, he's out of office today. He said he was involved in some discussion on this around this a few weeks back, and he was just wondering if there's any update on this move to a vendor neutral registry.
So let me answer this stuff. So at the last meet, the network prompting working group, we are decide to choosing the GitHub container registry something. Let me check the GitHub container registry is used in the our next places to a container registry. So about the multi-network policy IP table implementation, I put the I changing the CI, I mean that the GitHub actions to put the latest container image to the this stuff. So in the agenda I put the two places, two URLs. One is the source code repository, and then another is the containers registry as a part of the packages. So you can do the same things in the other implementation. So so for each repository owner can changes the this stuff. So that is the current status.
Cool. Thanks, Tomo. Is there plans then to get some of the other projects moved over for this, where we're hosting our container images?
So previously the SRB things, my coworker is likely to moving this stuff, so he should work on that. And
yeah,
then
I think we are, I mean, for the resource management working group, which is like the subset of the SRV project, I mean, I think we are aiming to move to this. So I mean, this is discussed in like in our bi-weekly meetings. So I will add it to our next agenda to, I mean, make a game plan for it. I know that we want to do a first release for the SRV network operator, so it would be a first candidate to just push an official image to be, you know, a released image to GitHub repo. So it's definitely like something which we are planning to do.
Cool. Thanks, guys. That's all I had.
Awesome. Thanks, Gary. This concludes what we've got officially on the agenda, but the floor is open and the world's your oyster. Any topic is good to go. All right, if there are no other topics, in this case, I appreciate the efficiency of the call. That being said, hope to see some of you in the additional discussion meeting, and if not, I'll catch you all in 2 weeks, which will be March 11th. All right, thanks everybody.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.